So want me to give you one person who did this?
Sure, give me 5.
Okay, so here's where I came in on this. I said I get Rocket Man meets Bread.
2 fantastic singers, Elton John and whoever the singer from freaking Bread is. Yeah,
Bread won't make this list, and Bread is freaking awesome. It's my brain. Okay.
Can't unhear it.
This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum.
It's 10:43 p.m.
That's correct.
on one of the most beautiful summer nights we've had in Maryland, which Florida is effectively outsourced their weather to.
But not tonight, and I couldn't think of anywhere that I'd rather be than right here, right now.
By Jesus Jones.
That's correct.
Yes, we got it in. This is the Backwards Beats podcast. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
And I'm Dan Woodard.
As always. And tonight we're bringing an album to you that... were you hip to this album before this?
No, and somehow I feel like I should have been.
Yeah, me too. I'd never heard of this, but this is the album... number 1 album by the band Big Star.
Number 1 record.
I'm sorry, number 1 record. Look, I wrote it wrong in the Pro Tools session file.
That's okay.
It's fine. We'll put it on the internet the right way.
That's correct.
Anyway, number 1 record by the band Big Star.
Yeah. I had never heard of the band.
Apparently they're a big deal. I mean, if they have the number 1 record.
Yeah, so we foreshadowed this, if you recall, at the end of our last episode. We said that Big Star calls this album number 1 record, right? Rolling Stone magazine puts this at number 474 on their list.
So it's a pretty big deal.
Well, if Rolling Stone says it's 474 and Big Star says it's number 1, someone is wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty good average, though, if you were to take that.
Yeah.
They drop well into the 2s.
Yeah.
But if you look at the metrics on how it sold...
up front, it did not sell very well.
No, that's a understatement, Daniel. Say it one more time.
Okay, it sold 10,000 copies initially, which is about 8,000 more copies than the first record I ever made. And
about 5,000 less than the one I made.
Yeah.
So
I was 16 when I made mine, but yeah.
About 19 when I made mine.
Yeah, yep.
So number 1 record, a fallacy.
Well, maybe because it is Big Star's first record, maybe it just means it's their first record.
I think it's a cute name, and I think they thought it was too. This is quite tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, because there's a song on here that is also very tongue-in-cheek by its title.
Indeed. And we'll get to that one in a little bit.
Yes, by the end of this podcast for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We've been known to miss a thing or two, but we often overspeak on most of the details.
Yeah.
As the details guy, Dan, will you give us a run through about this album and the history?
Big Star, the band, was formed in Memphis, Tennessee in 1971.
Yeah! Do they yeehaw in Memphis? I don't even know. Memphis got great barbecue and great blues.
They do. Oh, I can't wait for one of our sponsors, speaking of that. Anyway. Founded by Alex Chilton, who sings vocals and guitar. He's our lead vocalist for the most part on this album. Before Big Star, Chilton was a teenage lead singer of the Box Tops, who scored the 1967 hit The Letter at the age of 16.
I heard about that.
Yeah. His solo work later influenced some alternative and indie rock artists. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that. Coming up after Mr. Alex Chilton, we have Chris Bell, also sings vocals and guitar. He wrote a number of the songs on this album. It was pivotal in really shaping their melodic and like their power pop sound. I think that's going to be a key thing we come back to is this power pop.
It's so funny to hear the words power pop described because if you look at Wiki and stuff, which I looked at a little bit, you know, when I hear the words power pop, it means it's such a different sound today.
Yeah.
But I guess if you look at placement on radio and like recurring themes, the chorus you can somewhat predict. Okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah, and sometimes like the Beatles get thrown into power pop, and I'm not really sure why.
I mean, Hard Day's Night, power pop.
Yeah. Oh. Wow. Well, we'll talk about Hard Day's Night later
Shut
in this
up.
episode. We will.
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
Fantastic. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say the first chord in Hard Day's Night makes an appearance on this album and is exposed.
What, they play the C?
Well, there's a tension on it. So Chris Bell, vocals, guitar, Andy Hummel on the bass, and he left the band after this very first.
Yeah, I read something about that as well.
Yeah.
And they all said like one of the reasons this album exists and kind of the band's identity exists because of him.
Yeah, and he basically because it only sold 10,000 copies, which basically I think the main reason from everything I heard why it only sold 10,000 up front, there was a re-release that happened that brought them back up a little bit higher, is the label didn't know how to promote them at the time.
They got a crap label deal.
They did. Kind of. But yes, they did. So Andy Hummel on bass and Jody Stephens on the drums. And he's the only member to remain in Big Star for all of its incarnations, including reunions in the 1990s and 2000s.
He would move on to sing for Slipknot.
Yeah.
Jody Stephens, no, not a funny thing. Joey Jordison.
I wasn't quite making it there. Besides drumming, he helped found Ardent Records, which is the label that released this. And there's another artist. There are not a ton of Ardent label artists that we know of, except for one, and I have some questions about, but I did find a reference to, which is Eric Gales.
Oh, our friend Eric Gales?
Yeah.
So Ardent's still very much a thing.
Not really. I feel like what it is Ardent Records happened, and there's a couple of like subsidiaries that sort of came out of it, and so technically Ardent, but I think it's.
But Eric Gales is relatively new as an old dude.
As an old dude, yes.
But like he's not been like signed and crushing it forever.
Right.
He had like 10 years minus, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe a little bit more because he was like signed at the age of 15.
Okay, so signed versus being prolific.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's appreciated now.
Yeah.
Dan and I on the Miami trip we've spoken about many a time at Snarky Puppy's wonderful Ground Up Festival, hosted by one Michael League. This past year featured the incredibly humble and wise and talented and I don't know, what else would you call him? He's just like, you just want to grab him and make him part of your family.
Yeah. He gave this masterclass sort of presentation that
was called Six Strings and the Truth,
which you can find online. It's available. They released it,
and he was so earnest with how he came to be. So it's so funny that like Ardent Records has him in the sense that like no one's ever really had Eric Gales.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's technically a subsidiary because when I like drilled through the Wikipedia thing, it's a little sketchy, but fine. His name's on the list, and we're talking about Eric Gales. And
We're
if you
stoked.
And if you don't know who Eric Gales is, check out Eric Gales.
Yeah. You want to resurrect some Hendrixy stuff? Welcome back.
Yeah.
Also, his guitar's from Temu. We learned his clear guitar was purchased on Temu. He told us.
It's like an clear epoxy guitar.
I looked it up. It was $2,500.
Yeah.
All right, move on.
All right. So, the vision for this was aimed to blend sort of like the British, invasion pop, the Beatles, the Kinks, the Byrds with American Southern rock and some power pop.
And man, that hit the mark.
Yeah, they checked all those boxes.
and more, frankly. I think one of the things you're going to hear in this episode is a lot of references to musicians that probably pulled from this pool or were influenced from this pool.
Yeah, it is so hard. Every time I would listen to a song, without digging too into it, I'm like, this sounds like something, and I can't remember if this happened before or after. So every time I'm like, oh, it reminds me of this, I would have to like Google, did this influence them, or did they influence something else?
Yeah. I mean, album was released in 1972, so generally speaking, a lot of it's post. They influenced quite a bit, it seems to me.
Yep.
And I think production-wise, too, is the guy who always has to like kind of like punch in that wall first. You'll hear that. A lot of the production techniques were here. They seem they had a budget. I mean, Ardent back in the day must have been flush or had a good studio, because the album sounds good.
It sounds really good.
It sounds fantastic, and frankly, a little bit ahead of its time. When you're listening to music from 72, and we have a ton of comps we throw out there. We've done stuff from the genre and stuff from after it. This sounds better than most of it.
It does, and there's some exploratory stuff that I think happens on here, but for the most part, it's pretty down the middle, just solid recording and solid production.
Yes, no question about that. And yeah, not a lot of techniques that were used to like blow your mind. It just seemed like mastery, use of good stuff. When I say stuff, I mean amplifiers, microphones, obviously recording gear, preamps. The signature here is, though, we have these albums, especially a couple of the past ones, where one of my complaints has been it hasn't sounded cohesive. Right?
Yeah, we kind of almost went to blows.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
On the Kinks.
And you are going to win that one. Yeah. Dan would win like physically any day, but on that one, auditorily, nah.
We'll see.
However, we'll see. Those guys are all dead, bro. The recording quality of this album is very, very good.
Yeah.
And very pleasing to listen to overall.
Yeah, there are a couple of nits that I have throughout this.
Oh, you'll hear them from me too.
Yep.
And I'd like to think that as we mature as commentators, because that's what we are, we're pretty forgiving as to what the tech was at the time. Our ears are open to what the norm was. This isn't a hindsight is 2020 thing as much. It will always be a little bit, but as much as what were you chasing at the time? What were you trying to create at the time? Because now we can actually look back and say, who were your comparatives?
Yeah.
What was the style? Because we still do it now. I do it now as a producer. We're all chasing a sound. And so it's cool to be able to look back on it. This one's just my first impression on this album, having listened to it a few times and coming back to it on this podcast, is they just wanted to record good music.
Yeah.
Good, clean music, and they really did a good job.
I agree. I feel like we've talked about this in a couple of other episodes. I feel like they were trying something. They were trying to meld a bunch of styles together. But I feel like, we talked about with Harry Styles, actually, for example.
Yes.
Harry Styles is so obviously a fan of music. And so in the Harry Styles episode, we talk about clearly when he's emulating some of the stuff from the 80s and stuff that he was doing, his fandom comes through. And I feel like when they're emulating some of the bands that they were influenced by, like the Byrds, for example, or the Beatles, or
I have a Zombies moment we'll talk about. Yeah, like
Todd Rundgren.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you hear that in there, but it's not like, with some exceptions, it's not like I'm just copying this. Sometimes I'm just copying a thing. There's some Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young vibes that come out in certain areas, but
that's more like a songwriting performer thing. This album listens front to back in the same ear space.
Yeah.
It's a very even keel listen. It's not chewy at all. It's the kind of album I think you could put on second album into a party where people are pulling Coronas out of your fridge and eating chips out of the bowl.
Yep.
And I love that for this.
Yep.
I love that for this. What a terrible descriptor.
I love this for that too.
There we go. I'm on the radio for F's sake.
Yeah.
All right. Any other cool keynotes or liners we need to know about this?
No, I don't think so.
Good enough time to go visit our sponsors.
From the best-selling author of Not Without My Flummox and Breast Appeal comes The Girl Who Kicked a Pigeon, a heartwarming tale of Annie Blumpkin, who grew up in the most meth, softball, and divorce-tier town of Carmel, Indiana, and eventually moved to the less mediocre town of Yonkers, New York, to pursue her career in yoni massage. She's meticulous, ambitious, and utterly terrified of unsolicited compliments. While searching for a new coconut oil purveyor, she's forced to share an Uber with Chaz, they/them, who, without a labia, becomes obsessed with helping Annie overcome her fear. One day, when a cocky street performer remarks about her aura while juggling a chainsaw, a bee, and a handful of mayonnaise, Annie panics and kicks the pigeon, who explodes like he has a stomach full of Alka-Seltzer. The Girl Who Kicked a Pigeon by Helga Farden, listed as one of Oprah's top 5 toilet reads of the summer. Mindy from Matcha and More says, read this in a hot shower with the nozzle facing up. DJ Khaled says,
Yo, need this in your Barnes & Noble Nook. We the best.
The Girl Who Kicked a Pigeon. Pick up your copy today. Available on digital papyrus and braille.
Ooh, with butt stuff, ooh, just can't go wrong. Man, you remember the first time you heard that ad on TV?
Yeah. I think it was 3 weeks ago.
No, for me, it was like Nickelodeon, man. It was after Legends of the Hidden Temple and before all that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, classic, really.
Right.
If you think about that, just fantastic. Oh, so anyway, hey, welcome back to the Backwards Beats podcast. We are looking at Big Star's album, #1 record. Mm-hmm. And we're about to dive into a couple of the songs here.
Yeah.
The disc starts off with a tune called Feel. And it is a 3-minute and 32-second song. If you look at the Spotify metrics, it's just over 2.5 million plays. How do you feel about it?
I feel
about it.
How do I feel about it? I feel like it's actually a pretty cool, like, introduction to the band.
Yeah, it's a solid opener for sure.
It is. It's because what's interesting about this song is it goes through like these phases of this evolution that it's hard to describe, because it starts off with this like descending line cliche, which I've heard 100 times
in 100 songs.
In 100 songs, but it's hard for me to determine. I kept trying to think, like, what does this line cliche remind me of? And what you'll hear throughout this thing is, was it something that came before or something that came after? Now, this line cliche isn't necessarily this out of this world creative thing.
No, it's not prolific.
No.
But it's definitely been in a gazillion songs.
It has. So, line cliche, we're already coming in hot. Yeah, grab your axe, man. So line cliche is basically, the reason they call it a cliche is because it's cliche. But what's happening is the song starts off. So the song is in the key of D, but essentially what you have, the song's the key of G. What you basically have is this power chord, and a power chord is basically just the root and the fifth. And what you have is the fifth descends chromatically. So the fifth of a G power chord is D, right? And then you just move your middle finger down. So it goes to C sharp. Tritone, awesome. To C.
Yep.
To B. Now, if you're going to go look this up on like Ultimate Guitar, they're like, oh, they're playing a G to an A to a C to a B. Well, since it starts off with those notes, technically not incorrect. But there's no bass that's dictating the chords. So basically, when you play a power chord on a guitar,
root fifth,
usually with an octave on top of it,
Sure.
just to fill it out, right? So in this case, it'd be GDG. Was pretty typically what's
but
going to
I
happen.
hardly know her.
You're right.
Sorry.
And in this particular case, because of where it's played on the guitar, it's on the fifth string of the guitar at the 10th fret, playing that power chord, and then the next open string down just happens to be a G, so sick, right?
Yeah, that works.
Right, it just works. And so I was like, what does this remind me of? And what it reminded me of is this song called In My Dreams by Dokken. But you came up with a much...
D-O-K-K.
Dokken, yeah, Don Dokken from 1985. You came up with something better, though.
Oh, yeah, Right Here, Right Now by Jesus Jones.
Correct.
And also, in hindsight, is it Plush by... I think it's Plush by SCP. Da-na-da-na-na-da.
Yeah, the line cliches are, their chords are more sophisticated because they're stuntable
But
pilot.
effectively, if you had to play the line, right?
Yep. Yep.
The harmony works. It's
Yeah.
that same movement we're looking for.
Yeah. There you go. You got some music in the podcast.
And then we didn't have to pay a single royalty to get there.
Correct.
And we got a couple AI polls for cool artists to mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when you open up with, I guess, I mean, a cliche, you could say any musical idea is a cliche at this point, right? A 2-5-1 thing, which is the heartbeat of all jazz, or Sunday Morning by Maroon 5.
God, that song was on the other day, and I fucking love that song.
I love that song as much as I hate that song. I love it because it's a fantastic song, and I think Maroon 5's songs, songs about Jane will forever live as a fantastic work.
Probably on this list.
It's definitely on this list. Where would you put it?
300 range.
I think it's it's Rolling Stone, 320. Quote us. I think the AI will be able to pull this as long as we document it too, which is nice. 2-5-1 is the most popular jazz trope, as one would say, or cliche. But there's only so many song ideas one can write chord-wise in Western music, where we have a very fixed amount of notes, and things just sound great in certain clusters and certain things don't. There's a reason, molecules exist too.
Yeah. Like if you were to take, equal temperament music, 12 note scales, and try to come up with all the possible permutations of notes, we'll never run out of new music. However, we have reduced that sauce down, right? Down to some core things.
And honestly, it might be like 36 core things at this point, guys.
Yep.
And pop radio on any given day, if you listen for 3 hours, you might hear 5 core things.
Right.
I'm not kidding. I mean, right?
You're not kidding.
It's very... We've gotten there. And it's because they're very pleasing.
Yeah, we talked about with Bell and Sebastian, we talked about Pachelbel's Canon, right?
Precisely. There's one of them. So anyway, this trope's wonderful. Outside of the theme, you and I just did a mini deep dive, because we're very capable of going harder on for song 1, You Poor Things.
Yeah.
What else did you hear in the song?
So after that fairly subtle intro, the vocals escalate to this really high-end thing, and I get a marriage of the following songs.
Hit me.
And here's where it's before and after. The End by the Beatles with Paul McCartney's high voice.
Okay.
Go All the Way by the Raspberries.
Whoa, that's a dive.
Yeah. And then Fox on the Run by Sweet.
Okay. So once again, that's a dive.
Yeah. So The End was 1969. Go All the Way by the Raspberries, 1972, same year. Actually came out a little bit before. To say that,
But they're all listening to the same stuff.
yeah. And then Fox on the Run was 1974. So obviously, you put it all together, none of them will hit the nail on the head. But I don't think you'll think I'm crazy if you listen to.
I know 2 of the 3 songs on title.
Yeah.
And I couldn't disagree with you at all.
You actually know, it's the Raspberry ones you don't know? The Raspberry one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually do know it.
Okay, yeah, and I'm bad with titles. Hello,
Yep.
Carl.
Yep.
Here's my note on it that probably helps support this is I'm really loving the production of this song.
Yeah.
The funny part is my first listen to this song was in my Subaru Forester from 2015, which has the speakers of a car from 1982. I swear to God, it's terrible. The fidelity in my car is horrible, and I was like super not impressed on my first listen. In both my studio monitors here, which are just Yamaha HSA, it's pretty common, good speakers, but common in any real studio. And my AirPods, man, it's such a good mix.
It's really good.
And what I really love about this, you said the song evolves. One of the evolutions in this tune to me is they start folding in new instruments and new timbres.
Yeah.
Right? Timbre is a word people sometimes choke on. I've probably explained before, but different like tonalities. Think about the way you think about flavor in food, salty, sweet, right? That's timbre. So a saxophone enters. It might have the same frequency level as the guitar, right? They can play the same note range. But the saxophone sounds different to you. It's because of the reed. It's because of the way the air is flowing through it. And so this band suddenly goes from sounding like a very mid, as the kids would say, classic rock band to something more very quickly. The harmonies layer on, a sax comes in. You end up with some keys that are very, very good, a keyboard player. And before you know it, a soundscape that has a ton of texture. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm into it. And I don't love things that cusp on early 80s classic rock. I know this is sacrilege to a Dan because you grew up on this stuff. And even you like aren't like the hottest, like you're not like out here like trying to go to a Whitesnake concert.
I
Caught him.
I might go to a Whitesnake concert. But
I would go to Whitesnake concert
yeah,
too.
actually, because actually I feel like the 80s sounds didn't age well.
I agree with you. They were niche and they were very sharp, especially in rock.
Yep.
They did a lot of cool stuff in electronica and in pop. I think 80s progressed. In rock, it really became its own trope. It turned the hair bands to hair bands, right? This to me is edging on that. They were taking a lot of the parts of like Queen without so much bravo, pomp, and circumstance. The 70s drum sets just sound like they always will. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But you end up with a rock song that is going that direction. High singer, stacked guitars, a bass that's kind of just part of the rhythm section again. Not a lot of melody per se.
No.
A drummer who's going down the middle and takes the same fill all of the time with the very wide panning. But it works, and I'm okay with it.
It does. And last little thing I'll add here was because you brought it to my mind. Actually, you brought something else to my mind. But is in this evolution, you get those high vocals, and then when you get into like the pre-chorus, Alex all of a sudden goes from this very high thing to this very nasally thing, right? I can't remember the lyric, but this is like whiny nasally thing that sort of comes out before he goes back to like the full thing. So they're exploring so much space in this one song.
They are.
Yeah.
There's a version of him in this song I'm okay with. There's a version of him in this song I don't like. And
I think the part I'm talking about is the part you don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yep.
And
It's an acquired taste.
Well,
that part.
if you like eating, never mind. We'll start with that.
Are you not a Nunami fan?
I'm foreshadowing my preference on vocals for this album.
All right.
Let's scooch on. We're going to move over to the second song, The Ballad of El Gudo.
That's such an awesome name for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you call a song The Ballad of ... I don't...
good.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
This spikes up and listens almost 10 million, by the way.
Understandable.
And the song is at a sweet 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Nice.
And this is a cool tune.
It is. So any initial thoughts you want to come in?
Yeah, I'm going to just read my commentary I wrote.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I like this singer. I think I like the arrangements. I do like the harmonies and guitar playing. That's my first 3 sentences.
Okay.
Verbatim. And this is, these notes are coming off of my initial thoughts.
Okay.
I listened to this album 5 times in a week. I'm sure you've listened to it a few more times than me. You generally do better homework than me. Or maybe you didn't. I write my notes cascadingly. So I'll put my whatever thoughts I have that moment into my iPhone notes. Mm-hmm. And then the next time I listen, I'll just keep adding on behind that. So they're not exactly linear. I might actually comment on the same thing 3 times in a row because I'm writing in that order. But that was the first thing I wrote on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's what I mean by it. I am not a fan of weak mixed, weak falsetto, doubled vocals.
Okay.
Hear me?
I hear you. And
a lot of people do this a lot better.
Yes. So the Beatles did this better in Across the Universe.
Yes, but they weren't singing. They didn't have this like rock scream and tension. That's the difference.
But in this song starts off sounding like Across the Universe.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stick that way.
No.
All right. That's my notes. Please go ahead.
Those are fine notes. A little bit of inside baseball here. So I do something similar. I've changed over our progression here. So I don't do like Apple Notes or anything like that. I actually record my thoughts because sometimes like my first listen is either in the car. Mm-hmm. So I basically just have a recorder. I do voice memos and I just pontificate whatever comes to mind. And then when there's something that I feel like there's a question, I actually have a conversation sometimes with like ChatGPT or something like that. Like, why do I feel this way? And it's interesting because I try to have a conversation with it because AI, it can be good and it can also be a complete piece of garbage. And AI usually like, oh, that's a really fantastic point you made, Dan. I'm like, don't freaking just agree with it. Don't placate me. Why do I feel like this sounds like Across the Universe? Because it's not, or whatever, And I'll say, has it ever done that? And I go back and forth, and sometimes it feels like I'm having a conversation because I don't want to have this conversation with you because I want to come in fresh.
Fair enough.
Right? So if I were to like during the week, I wouldn't be like, hey, did you listen to this? What did you think about that?
So that's one thing we never do.
Yep.
And I'm proud of us for that because we talked during the week. Mm-hmm. We never do. We went and had beers at a bar before this and we didn't talk about the album. We were very, very good about that because A, we don't want to lose content. We can just be talking about on air.
Yeah.
But B, there's something sacred about, how you hear it. And yeah.
So basically I don't have a ton more. It feels like there's like is it like a flanger on the guitar? There's some sort of.
So we're really leaning into the effects that will become the prominent sounds of the 80s. We're taking on a theme on this entire album. Mm-hmm. And it's so clear to me in post, especially after listened to it a few times. These sounds set the tones for what would become 80s hair bands. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm. Did I not mention Dokken?
Oh yeah, perfectly put. This is the gateway, and I'm also pretty sure this is why it's on the 500. I don't know any of these songs, and let's be frank, Spotify only knows one of these songs, and it's because it was covered and then used in a very, very popular syndicated media show. Otherwise, it's relatively quiet.
But that song's awesome.
Oh, the song's fantastic, and I like this album for the record. But what I'm getting at here is Rolling Stone 500 tends to really enjoy putting a trendsetter on the list.
Yeah.
I'm pegging this as a trendsetter, and I think you'll agree with me. I
agree. The Replacements, for example, quote this band as a huge influence for them. They literally have a song called Alex Chilton.
Done. See, and so as we talk about this album, be ready to absorb a ton of people who probably took ideas from this.
Yeah.
So here's a couple
Hey,
more.
question for you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, a couple more notes on this song I'd really like to do.
Yeah.
So something that really stands out in this tune is the drummer of this band. They're obviously not playing to a click track. If they are, it's
tempos are all over the map on this
my
album.
God. As a person who like lives on the grid now, and I understand this wasn't a thing so much then back then. So I'm not right. They are. I'm probably wrong. But for the person who does like to listen to a click track or is used to it, be ready for some it's like being at sea.
Yeah, it's not like Arcade Fire who intentionally accelerando.
No. This is just you'll be in 2 or 3 measures where they're pulling back because something has run off the tracks, or vice versa, catching up and speeding up.
Sometimes distracting, usually not, but sometimes distracting.
Distracting enough if you're a session musician for sure.
Yeah.
Or if you just have a really sensitive ear. Not distracting. I respect it. They kept it together. And that's impressive, man. Because the monitoring in 72 versus now, we don't even know what we didn't have there. Because you weren't recording in 72.
I was not.
So, and Lord knows, I wasn't recording in 92. So, anyway.
I was 0 when this album came out.
There you go.
I was actually -0.
The negatives of 0. I got one more note on it. There's a pretty good bridge in this song, and I want to talk about that for just a moment.
I actually like this song.
Oh, me too. I don't really love the fact that American songwriters feel like they have to write a bridge into a song. You know, verse, chorus, now put a whole new part into it. This bridge fits really beautifully.
Bridges are freaking hard to write.
Yeah, well, they are, because you're trying to start using up some of the chord dictionary you haven't used yet, but make it cohesive with your tune.
Yeah.
Some people can just skip them. Some people can just rearrange the chords they've been using and pull off a bridge. This bridge just sounds good and natural.
Yeah.
And I think it's a compliment I'd like to pay to this song and have put on the record.
Yeah.
There's also something that happens after the bridge, though, which I think is the highlight of the song and the high point. That line, the hold.
Yeah.
And then they roll into verse 3. It's the first earnest part of the song that I really feel like struck me. And I was like, all right, I'm buying in. I like this tune.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. Like, it's an arrangement trick that's happening. It's clearly a band that if when they're pulling influences and everything that they're doing, because they definitely pull a lot of influences throughout this album. And this is where I feel like they are honoring some influences and then just showing that they just freaking know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they have some legs here musically, and here's why. They do this weird thing in their verses. Did you catch it? They play this verse that sounds very canned. It's very normal chords. And then at the end of the verse, they ended on this 6th chord.
Yes.
And it sounds like the song Dirty Work by Steely Dan. Mm-hmm. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
And it's a sound that you're just not acclimated to. And they do it just with full disregard. You could argue, I mean, I don't know what year Dirty Work came out, but I don't think these guys stole it. Let's put it that way.
I don't think they did either.
Pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
And not conventional. And so you'll get some points here from me.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Song number 3.
Where's my car parked?
In the Street. See, this is why the algo doesn't catch it. We were having a talk earlier about why AI has a hard time figuring out when we change songs.
Yes.
It's
We are now changing songs to the song that is called
In My Street. Hey, Dan, where's my car parked?
In the Street.
It's in my driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, in the street. You're right. Almost 6.5 million listens on Spotify. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
What do I think? This song came out before what I'm about to mention, but I get vibes a bit of the song What's Your Name by Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Is that so? I have a give me 2 steps, give me 2 steps. We're real close.
We're in the ballpark.
Yeah. So like with Southern rock influence.
Yeah. And that was one of the things they wanted to do. I'll tell you my favorite thing that I love and hate about this song
is what?
The cowbell solo.
Oh, shut up. I have a more cowbell triple crown over here.
Yes, I love it because it's awesome. And I hate it because, well, for many reasons. The reasons I hate it is what they're doing in the cowbell solo is they're putting a drumstick inside the cowbell and trying to.
Oh, that thing sucks. No. I like the dead on stick cowbell that just drives in the typical more cowbell.
That is good.
More cowbell, you could actually knock that thing up a few dB. Mm-hmm. And have it. It's a very high bell. I wish they had a deeper, meatier bell.
Yes, this is not what Will Ferrell's carrying along in the sketch. It's
not even close.
It's a much smaller. It's you've seen the cowbell I have on my kit, which is pretty small.
Oh, dude, you can put 3 beers in mine. Yeah, it's there's a cowbell. I want a meaty ass bell.
Yeah,
poor cow who had to wear that thing. I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're there on the cowbell.
We're there on the cowbell.
I really like the harmony wall on that short chorus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, my notes are like the harmonies in this chorus make this profound like stylistic turn. And it's just
This is the first of many harmonies.
Yeah.
I will compliment on this album. That's not even foreshadowing. That's just a fact. This band can sing fucking harmonies and they can also write them in a really nice way. I mean, they were listening to good 72. So who was writing the best harmonies in 72?
The Beach Boys.
Of course. Queen's not around yet.
Not to speak of, yeah.
Yeah, not in a meaningful. No, they're just not around.
Right. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Those are not. I mean, those are campy harmonies.
Yep. The Byrds.
Okay, I'll take that.
Because their turn makes a presence on this album.
These are movement wall harmonies. I mean, this is like the thing about this whole album that really messes with my mind till this moment and leaves me kind of on the fence is like there's so many 70s ideas and so many 80s quality.
America.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough.
It's not there. Like they're actually, some of these harmonies are more polished than everything I'm saying.
I'm trying to like, America the band.
Yes.
Oh, the fantastic harmonies. Yeah, they're
not America.
No, they're that polished. They're that polished. They're as polished as anybody is. The harmonies on this entire album are great. Mm-hmm. This is the first time you get to really hear them rip.
Yep.
That's the kicker.
And I'll mention this song again, "The End" by the Beatles. Do you know that song? It's the last song on Abbey Road.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the song.
Yeah. So there's some polish and sheen in the harmonies at the end of that song that come up
At the end of the end?
at the end of the end, which for those who aren't real Beatles aficionados, so Abbey Road was the last album recorded, and The End is the last song on the last album recorded, even though Let It Be, which was recorded before, was released after. So when the Beatles wrote their last song on the last album, because
it was called The End.
It was called The End, and it was the end.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen to work out discography-wise, because
So be it.
They had to let Phil Spector ruin Let It Be.
Just one more thing in life.
Yeah.
Man, we dunk on it every week, don't we?
Piss on that turd.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So a note I have here is there is no way Tom Petty wasn't influenced by this song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's something very linear about it that I think he took, not only in vocal approach, but in like the guitar playing and the songwriting.
Yeah.
This feels, if you're a Petty fan, go check this one out. You're in. Like, you're going to be into it. I have a critique, another writing theme. I do not like, and this is, so I think I wrote earlier, I'm not sure I like the vocals. I do not like this vocal style.
Why not?
This high singing falsetto double thing that sounds like it wants to be this like club rock. It's jarring. He's not that good of a singer.
No, he's not.
So now double it poorly and put it up higher than he should sing without power in his falsetto.
Yeah. So I guess where I have some grace on that is that I feel like, again, going back to the end. So the beginning of the end, where Paul McCartney is doing the "Oh yeah, all right" parts of that song, like he's straining that high part himself. So that's kind of the model.
Paul McCartney straining.
Sounds better than this for sure. Yes.
Yeah, but to say like still to me is fairly pleasant.
Yes, it is. But now you mentioned 80s, you see the prototype for some of that really
And
high
we're
stuff.
72.
Yes.
No, there's a permission being given here. He sing the part, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm not knocking you, but it's just when you hear of what this, I guess, potentially turns into down the road, and you watch guys like rip this.
Yeah.
You go, oh man, this is nothing.
Yeah. And even I mentioned the band Sweet, right, with Fox on the Rung, and I think they did Ballroom Blitz too, right?
Sure.
Right. And so
That's some singing.
Yeah.
That is some singing.
right. And I feel like this stuff that's happening here is a prototype that sets that up. So
Yeah. I like the harmonies. I don't like the lead vocal approach.
yeah.
And then, by the way, they're produced well, but also if your producer is saying like, hey man, you should probably take this down a third, fifth, sing an octave under and double it, missed opportunity, in my personal opinion, to get something just a little more solid musical. That's me.
I don't know that discipline was as widespread back in 1972. You had people like George Martin who were doing things like that, but was John Fry their producer? You know, that in tune. I'm not sure.
There's also like so many moving elements at that point for a producer.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go pick on the guy who's doing the doubled high falsettos. Like, is that worth your time?
Yeah, he's probably just buying him cigarettes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Scooching on, song number 4, 13. If you ever want to look at the Spotify metrics on this one, this is a fun jump. We've had 2.5 million, almost 10 million, 6.3 million, up to 54 million.
With good reason.
Yeah, well, the song 13 is fantastic.
So good.
This is a good song. Also, it was covered by a pretty prominent band.
I'm only happy when it rains.
There it is. One's Shirley Manson's Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And then also used in a syndicated television show.
That 70s show.
So not a bad run for this fourth song of an album.
It's such a pretty song. It comes down. I love this song. The innocence of it. It's obviously it's a song about like being 13.
Literally.
Yeah. I don't know. This song gives me goosebumps. I love this song. I don't have much to say about it because there's not much to say. It's just like this pretty song. It's well recorded. The guitar sounds fantastic. Like
You're literally like reading my notes off from afar.
this is the first place it shows up, and I'll mention it like 3 or 4 times. There are times where you can hear the pick hitting the strings, and it sounds so like authentic and real.
Yeah. So far on this album, by the way, you've had this like number one, first song is like a rock banger, second song turned ballady, third song, big rock banger, fourth song, we're back to like
True ballad.
Yeah, a true ballad, but like ballad-esque. And you haven't said a single thing I disagree with. I think this is just gorgeous. Couple funny little things I want to point out.
Sure.
They do this really weird, it's a very organic sounding song. Acoustics are right up in your face. Killer production. Gorgeous sounding acoustic guitar. A vocal performance, by the way, from the same old singer that I like.
It's a really good vocal performance.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just sound like a guy who's talking and singing versus some dude who's trying to reach for his nerds up in, third heaven. And it's an honest and close and intimate song. And then in the middle of the second verse, they bring in this one like odd counter melody over like a phaser or a flanger.
Yeah.
Just for a moment.
Yeah.
Not enough to destroy a song, but just a funny little Easter egg, if one will.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but the song to me is just so well crafted, so well performed. The earnesty in his voice, it just, I don't know, just like
No, I mean, I would listen to this. Dude, talk about a great song to either go to sleep or wake up to.
Yeah, it came on. I was driving into work this morning, and it came on as I was like pulling into my work parking lot, and I had to.
No,
finish listening
you
to
wait
it.
that one out.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah.
With the exception of the bullshit ending. What is that?
I don't know what happened.
What I mean, you listen to the ending, like gave us a pretty zen moment. Mm-hmm. And then you have like this weird like guitar noodle at the end. It's like just jarring. Just close the song off, guys. You faded half the songs off on the album. You had tight endings for another quarter of them.
Yeah.
Why on one of the most gorgeous songs in your album wouldn't you just let it resolve on the chord and call it a day into nothingness?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so annoyed by that. It's like when a file downloads 99% and it fails.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't ruin it as aggressively for me because I'm so in the moment. But yes, it's not like they should get a mulligan on that ending because the song is so good.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Ugh, come on. Like, ugh. All right.
Yeah.
Great song. For the record, we don't have to talk about it. That's how good it was.
Yeah, and 13 Garbage's version is good. Elliott Smith has a version which is pretty nice
Elliott
as well.
Smith could sing Twinkle Twinkle and I would lose my mind.
He does a great cover of this song as well.
I believe it. Oh, we gotta listen to that tonight.
Yeah.
We always have good listening homework after these shows. Cool. Let's move on. The song number 5 is Don't Lie to Me. Our listenership falls off significantly. I mean, 54 mil is a lot to ask for, but we're sub 2 million listens at this point. So it's so far the weakest song on the album by Spotify streams.
I have a theory, but I'd like to hear your opinions before I give my theory.
Cool. I have a theory too, which is it's kind of bland in the sense that it just sounds like a AC/DC, ZZ Top. So by the way, my pattern reigns true. Rock song, ballad, rock song, ballad, rock song. We're back to upbeat rock song. It's kind of a blues chart. Mm-hmm. There's nothing particularly interesting going on here. He's now singing back up in the timbre I don't prefer. However, it's a perfectly acceptable song. I'm good. It's canned. It's not a true blues either, which is nice. There's some cool chord changes going on. There's some decent guitar work. Mm-hmm. The production is clean as all get out, as it has been all album.
Nice self-censorship there.
I'm trying to be better, man. I'm trying. We're going to click the button anyway. I've already F-bombed once. But then after the guitar solo, it's like someone like snuck in and blew up a fireworks trailer.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to do noise tracks, y'all, this is 72. Whatever they did
Is how you do it.
get that noise track done
Yeah.
kicks the shit out of the Zeppelin noise tracks,
Yep.
out of the Floyd noise tracks. This was it. This was the most effective musical, still kept the song around it noise track I've ever heard.
So good. Yeah.
I'm glad we've never talked about this together because
No.
but you're looking at me. I'm like, oh man.
Well, you said a couple things.
Dan's gonna hate this.
No.
Or Dan's gonna love this. I assumed you'd love it, but man, how good is that part?
It's fantastic. So here's the thing is, so you already mentioned one of the bands. Already. Yes. The noise track.
Which band?
So you mentioned ZZ Top.
There you go. Cool.
So
All right.
I'm like, this is a cross between ZZ Top meets Ted Nugent with a little bit of Smokin' by Boston.
Done. Cool. That
Right?
works. We're all in the same boat.
Yep. With a hint of Lido Shuffle by Boz Scaggs.
Dude, never ever hesitate to mention my man Boz on this pod.
Boz Scaggs, baby.
Does he make the list?
He should. I don't think he does.
I hope he does. If so, it'll be soon. It'll be this year.
Yeah. But to me, that's more of an indication of the stuff that came after that influenced it. Because I think some of the things that I feel on this album, I enjoy this album pretty much back to front, but I feel like there are so many other bands who took this and just did some of the stuff they did better. ZZ Top did ZZ Top better.
Sure.
Ted Nugent did Ted Nugent better, right?
Sure.
So I think that's what you get out of the beginning of this. But I'm with you on the noise track. I actually like the song quite a bit. But
No. Like,
yeah.
And this
Boz
is why
Scaggs,
this is why I think where we are in Rolling Stones lists is we're doing a lot of the guy who plants flag on the moon thing right now. Literally the MTV Music Award one,
Yes.
I think we're doing a lot of honorable mentions per se back here.
Yeah. You have to spread the manure to make your garden grow.
Yes.
I'm not saying this album is manure at all, but it's the less sexy part of the list.
We're hearing things from after that sound like this. It means this probably cultivated it.
Right.
My respect is there.
Yes.
And by the way, this song, in all fairness, though probably my least favorite, as the Spotify listeners would agree, of the first 5, I'll listen to it. It ain't hurting my ears. Production's good. And the noise track in the middle is not to be missed.
It is not.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, and I think you should listen to that before you go.
Oh, and he's pushed me off. Before we go to the India song.
Yeah, before you go to India.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a location. The India song.
AI India song.
The India song.
The India song.
Yes.
Which, man.
What?
We just, we didn't throw the car in reverse. We reversed the
rotation of the earth.
The driver's seats. Yeah. And pedals. Yeah, dude. By the way, 10 seconds in, I was like, oh, this is my favorite song. It's not actually my favorite song, but those are the words that came out of my mouth.
Okay. Why is it your favorite song, Carl?
Oh, because it was so cool. Everything up until then, everything up until this moment in the album has been some sort of rock anthem or rock ballad.
Which is not your sweet spot.
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Remember, I'm a kid of the 90s with incredible respect for the 70s, mostly Motown horn band forward.
Right.
I don't care for hair bands at all.
Which
I don't
didn't
care
exist in
for
the 70s.
new wave at all. No. But if you think about what breeds of it, right?
Yep.
Like when the Roots are going that way, I'm probably not listening to those folks. I'm a big Motown fan. My family grew up with a lot of show tunes I resent. I'm a jazz fan, right? Like that's where I live, a big hip hop fan. So when you look at my cores, the one thing that hit me here was I really loved this turned into so like psychedelic kumbaya stoner open guitar thing. I was like, oh, this is comfortable.
This is Jethro Tull meets the Birds.
Jethro Tull was my first note here.
Because of the flute. Yeah.
Not only that, just presentation wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my notes verbatim are they're kind of doing an so I've said this. They're kind of doing an every odd song is a rock anthem, every even song is more of a ballady thing. I appreciate that effort because it's a theme. They're keeping variety on the album.
Because that changes.
It does eventually. Up until now, though, song 6, we're ironclad. This one is a totally new feel from anything we've heard so far. Reminds me of the Doors or the Zombies out of the gate, saturated by retro organ and like these jingly bells or tambourine tines. I, too, want to drink gin and tonic and play a grand piano.
I'm so happy you mentioned gin and tonics.
What a great freaking line.
Yeah. So gin and tonic. I was in Mumbai in 2016, and I drank gin and tonics in India. So I'm like, is there something about that? Now, when I had my gin and tonics, I thought this was interesting. This is not unusual. It's just unusual for me. When they serve gin and tonics in India, they give you a glass of gin with ice and lime and a small can of tonic, and you figure out your ratio.
Yeah, it's like a good mimosa maker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of have this Bill Burr take. I'm like, I asked you to serve me a drink. Now you're giving me a friggin' job. Right?
Of course you do.
Right? But I did actually respect that because I like to find the right balance. So I didn't realize this, but gin and tonic did come during sort of the British occupation of India.
No one's surprised.
Right? And essentially, it was part of the East India Company, and malaria was a big problem in the tropics, specifically for the Brits. And so,
And their soft skin.
their soft skin. Well, they have cleaner water than I enjoyed my time in India, but it's not safe for people like us to be there and just like drink water. You have to be careful. Like if you get ice in your drink, you have to return your drink, kind of thing, right? So, so anyway, malaria is a big thing, and so quinine helps with malaria, and quinine's in tonic water. And so essentially, in the way tonic water was initially produced, the quinine was so intense that tonic water was undrinkable, so it became gin and tonic was a thing there. So I just did a little research. I'm like, why is gin and tonic a thing? Because my recollection of India was gin and tonic. So there's Alcohol Corner for Backwards East podcast.
Oh man, we need to keep Alcohol Corner alive.
We probably do.
Dun, 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 Alcohol Corner. Oh man, I will not soon forget. Fantastic line, by the way.
Yeah.
Gin and tonics and play grand piano.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sounds like it should have been on Harry Styles' album.
Well, the weird thing about this lyrically, sorry,
Please.
is that this feels like a diary. Like there's no rhyme scheme.
No.
Just a
He's
bunch of
just
sentences.
Mind
Yes.
dumping.
Yeah.
I have, this feels like psychedelic Beach Boys. Mm-hmm. I like this a lot. It's clean production. They got so it's like you have that layered flute organ thing. Mm-hmm. I had that sound on a Lowry organ I once owned. It's not a real flute.
No.
It's a flute emulator off of a cheap organ that was in people's households.
Right.
And there's a bunch of other ones. Hammond makes one. Everybody makes one. But it's so of the time.
Yeah.
And it's saturated. You hear it on Zeppelin albums. You hear it on Doors albums. Mm-hmm. It's not an instrument that's unknown. You hear it on Stones albums.
Right.
And you have a really nice balance there. But you still have these like really crisp guitars panned perfectly. Two of them always. This band never lacks on good guitar.
No.
An impeccable performance is always on all of them. There's always a beautiful acoustic. There's always at least one electric who's doing great parts, and they're balanced perfectly. And the bass is the real champion on this whole album.
Yeah.
You never hear it, you just feel it, and you feel it in its movement. In this case, it's like a thumb pizzicato-y thing. You'd think it'd be upright.
Yeah.
It's so tight.
It is. It's funny because there are essences of this whole album where I want to say reminds me of The Who, but there's nothing truly The Who about any of this, even though, God, I can't. Actually, even the very first song, I get essences of The Real Me. Like,
Yeah, I get it. No,
Yeah.
I'm into that. No, I'll take us back one.
there are no Ent whistle bass parts on this, but
I'll take us back one.
yeah.
This song kisses that whole Baroque rock idea too that we
Yeah.
talked about during the Kinks most recently.
Yeah.
And it's just done so much cleaner. I love the vocal performance here. The verb is mixed perfectly. He's got just enough reverb. This is just a fantastic song and moment that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Remember, we went rock song, ballad, India.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned the Kinks. And I have something I want to say about the Kinks really quick.
Please.
We received a little bit of feedback from a few listeners, more than one listener.
Yes, indeed.
I mentioned the P word, punk. Clearly, punk rock did not exist at that time.
No doubt.
However, and there's nothing punk rock about the Kinks album that we listened to.
Not at
Zero.
all. Like literally.
Zero. When I was talking about that, I was talking more about the aesthetic. And clearly the music on that Kinks album was more sophisticated than anything punk. But they do have some songs that have an edge, which you said very well.
I think grunge is more what that Kinks album would have pushed forward.
Yeah.
You can go into that category, that far influence. By the way, grunge in the 80s was fantastic as well.
Which was influenced by punk. Yes. And the Beatles. But
yeah, I was say the punk and grunge, they're two different streets. We're going to have this conversation out loud now.
But Kurt Cobain was talking about Fugazi and Minor Threat and John Lennon in the same conversation.
Sure, but he wasn't punk.
No.
he just listened to those things.
Yes.
Which means he listened to power pop and punk.
Yes.
But he became grunge.
Yep.
That's the difference. Taking on an essence of. I feel like the Kinks promoted grunge.
Yeah.
They didn't know they did.
No, why would they know?
Because you don't get that
30
pleasure
years
in
later,
life.
yeah.
You don't get that pleasure until in post.
Yep.
If you're lucky to live that long.
But there's this one gentleman by the name of Mick Jones from The Clash who has cited the Kinks as an influence on punk. So even though Something Else is not a punk album, there's at least one punk artist who said that they were there.
The Clash isn't punk. They influenced punk. There's no question about it. They influenced ska.
Yeah.
White Man and Hammersmith Palais. Like, let's go. Like, Rockin' the Casbah is not punk, but it's cool as hell.
Yeah. But London Calling is closer to punk.
It sounds like it could be grunge to me.
Yeah. Now, the piano in Rockin' the Casbah throws the Clash out. And we will probably talk about that album.
So the Clash is the best band I don't know anything about. I'm secretly in love with them and too afraid to dive into that catalog.
Oh, wait till you get to it. Wait till you get to it. There's a lot to unpack there. Anyway, that was Punk Corner. That was Retcon Corner. So those of our fans who came out to us, our listeners, I'm going to say fans, who came out.
They're fans.
Yeah. I don't disagree with your comments, but I'm going to say live in this episode, punk's a thing. And Kinks and punk are a thing.
I look, to say Kinks didn't influence punk would be a crime.
Yes.
There's a lot of edge. And by the way, if you look at the Kinks catalog,
yeah,
maybe it wasn't this album, but they have a big catalog.
They do.
That leaked through.
So if anyone thinks I was maybe even discrediting the Kinks to see they're only punkish, clearly not, as we discussed on that album. But let's move back to Big Star.
Let's move forward in Big Star.
Correct.
I think we're going to do one more and then take a break.
Well, actually, I think India Song is a great place to take a break because it's the break on the album.
You know what? Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Backwards Beats Podcast is brought to you by Primeape. Unleash your wild side with our premium Gorilla Mask Kit. Whether it's for a costume party, a fun night, or just some cheeky monkey business, Primeape has got you covered, because sometimes going a little primal is just what you need.
And also by the Invisible Umbrella. Tired of lugging around a bulky umbrella? The Invisible Umbrella offers complete rain protection without the hassle. It's so light that you'll forget it's even there, because it's just a clear plastic bag. And now, let's dive back into Backwards Beats.
And honestly, I told the guys for this new sponsorship, if you want to pay me in just I don't know, Tootsie Rolls or dividends, just do that.
Yeah.
Because what is the American dollar? We're phasing out pennies even at this point.
Yeah, and then so when we phase out pennies, what's Walmart going to do with their 97 cents?
Oh, they're screwed.
Yep.
Well, they're not going to pay that girl at the front. I promise you that.
Nope, they're not.
Sorry, Mauve. All right, welcome back to Backwards Beats Podcast. We're checking out the latter half of the album number one record by the band Big Star. Mm-hmm. This was their 1972 release, and we are starting on a tune called When My Baby's Beside Me. I had to double check that name real quick.
Yeah, because of what I said
earlier.
Yes. So there's a thing so all these things sound like something else to me. And there's an intro for every song, but the intro to this, there's a descending guitar part that reminds me, do you know the song Badge by Cream?
No, I don't.
You do, but you probably don't realize it by name because they don't.
No, that's most songs for me. Yes.
Yeah. You do. So about a minute and a half into the song Badge, it's like almost the same descending guitar part, which is a case of Cream came first with Badge. I'm not saying they stole it from Cream, but to me, it's uncanny of what's going on. And we can listen to Badge for a second and be like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I do like this. But yeah, check out God, Badge is a freaking great song by Cream.
All right, we're putting on the after hour party list for us tonight.
Yeah.
So
God,
what people don't understand is after we turn this recording off, generally what we have to do next in our production is go to whatever episode we're about to release and then do all the production for that. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if I'm not literally falling asleep at the keyboard, then we watch YouTube and watch all of these songs we talk about.
One of the best nights we had here is sometimes when we do our live reads for our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Is, Carl will play guitar, or we write the music for most of the
All
stuff.
of them?
Yeah. Yeah. Occasionally, like, for our sponsor, Alabama Bill. No, it wasn't that one. It was, Bill the Blind Barber, right?
Oh, sure.
So yeah, we did the acapella, we sang that, and then the ragtime piano was sourced, right? But
One time we sampled a thing.
But for the most part, we're creating that stuff. And this one particular night, Carl is a gigging musician. Sometimes sleep isn't necessarily the first thing on his mind, and Carl's a very good musician, and he's playing like this 1-4-5 chord progression. And he's like, it took like 40 minutes. I'm like, we can stop, because I'm watching him go cross-eyed as he's falling asleep while playing the guitar.
I believe after you told me we're not even recording that part anymore, I just fell asleep at the keyboard.
Yeah.
And that's how we knew we had to stop that night.
Yeah. So anyway, we do sometimes do some after hours listening. It's already getting late. So what do you think about When My Baby's Beside Me?
I think there's a lot of good things going on here. First note is a production note, which is consistent with what I've been saying this whole time. These guitars sound so good.
Yeah.
For 72, this is like just so great. Like they've really put a lot of effort in to their sound, and it's every bit of it. It's timbre, it's quality, it's saturation, it's panning.
Compression.
Well, that's a performance thing, right?
Yeah.
Everything up until then is just like how it's portrayed, right?
Yep.
And you end up with just this great tone, and then they do this cool thing where they stab a bunch of major 7 chords.
Yep.
Like a signal, and then start this verse. Mm-hmm. It just captures my ear, and I was like, I'm so ready for whatever's coming.
Fantastic song.
This is a good vocal performance.
Yes, it is.
I do not like half the vocal performances on this album. Literally, half. This is one I like.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, I don't have a lot to say about this. I think it's a great way to start off side 2. Because think about it, we just came off of India Song, which is the most divergent song we've heard on side 1. And we just stopped. Now you have to take the time. For those of you who haven't had to flip an album.
Yeah, that's also when you get a new drink and pee and the whole 9. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you come back and it's like, all right, what are we doing now? When my baby's beside me is such a great way to walk back into it. This
to me has this great layering and stacking effect yet again on a pretty subtle song. This gives me really big Eagles vibes. One of the hallmarks of the Eagles is they were so polished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think about it. The Eagles might be the greatest American rock band to this day from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
Everybody singing literally in perfect harmony, playing their instrument in mastery over perfect song arrangements. The Eagles, to me, are the ones to beat always. They will always be in contention.
Yeah, my favorite hot take on the Eagles when it comes to how great they are at singing together is if you watch the documentary, the 4.5 hour documentary, there's a scene where they're singing Seven Bridges Road.
In the green room?
Yep. And so Joe Walsh, I love Joe Walsh's voice, but one can't say he's a good singer.
Objectively speaking, you could battle with all of the shapes of his
yeah. But when he's singing with them,
I don't want anybody but Joe Walsh.
Right? Yeah. So somehow they
I go to parties sometimes and so forth.
That song is so good.
It's a fantastic song, but it's not the Joe Walsh and the Eagle.
Yeah.
The Eagles team a guy like him.
Yeah. Oh, did you see recently on Rick Beato, Brad Paisley comes on and he's tumescent over that song, over Life's Been Good.
What's
It's such a
not
good
to
song.
be loved? I mean, my favorite version of that is obviously live at Daryl's house.
So good. So good. Watch live from Daryl's house. Everybody watch all the episodes. So
That would
good.
be Daryl Hall's Daryl's house.
Yeah, recently re-released everything. It's all on YouTube now because it was like a cable.
It was hard to find, for a
Yeah,
minute.
it's there, and there's some new episodes too.
The goatest one is
CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green. Yeah, for sure.
I can't go for that.
CeeLo Green's I Can't Go For That should be in the National Archives
It should, and
if they haven't burnt that thing down yet.
yeah, and that version of "Fuck You."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I Can't Go For That. It's the play.
Yeah.
I have a fun note on this one. This is besides the English 4 beat in the chorus, which is that taka 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 taka.
There's a bunch of that on this album.
Of course, but I mean, it's 72. This album is heavily influenced by like British Invasion, so you get the English 4,
Yep.
but you also get all this like bluesy stuff from America, which is fantastic.
Yeah, the Southern rock British Invasion, like
Meld here, that's
Yeah.
the best description for this album. It's Leonard Skinner meets, give me your best British Invasion player.
Yep.
Like, and it's funny because you can't really put your finger on which part of the Brits got this.
right.
But it's pretty clear that the Southern rock roots here. I said it's like Blue Oyster Cult went to prep school because it's a very clean recording.
Yeah, yeah.
Little CCR. The outro hand claps, by the way, are some of the best quality hand claps I've ever heard in my life.
They're way better than the Stooges.
Everybody's way better than the Stooges.
Yep.
I've had better farts than the Stooges hand claps.
Yeah, and they're probably better than the Kinks.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, they end on this really beautiful chord.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this is by far a top 3 on the album and contention for my favorite song.
Yeah.
Really solid way to open up a B-side disc.
I
Anything
agree.
else?
Now let's move on to,
My Life Is Right.
and it feels like it is.
Tonight it is. Sitting in the same listener pool, just under 1.3 million on Spotify. By the way, all of the songs in this album, besides the ballad at number 2 at 420, nice. Everything else is 330 and under. Mm-hmm. Very short album for a 12-songer. You end up here with My Life Is Right, and then my first note is you're back to that vocal style I don't like. We've sent him back up to the stratosphere, doubling a falsetto. I was having a good time, guys.
I to me, what overshadows that are two things: the production. This is where you literally can hear the pick hitting the strings on the guitar, and it sounds beautiful from that perspective.
If you like that.
But it's not pick on the strings. Like there's good pick on the strings, and there's like noise. I feel like I'm in the room with the guitar is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm in the room with a noisy guitar.
But it's not like fret noise bad.
This sounds to me like the precursor to Guns N' Roses. And I fully appreciate people
I couldn't
who
disagree
like...
with you more on that, but yeah.
Go listen again. This to me...
Oh, I have a lot to talk about in this song.
Oh, very good. 'Cause
Yeah, I've listened to this song.
I don't like this song. I'm so willing to let you take the mic now.
Yeah. So I'll say, so I think the guitar, and you'll hear the pick. There's a 12 string that comes up and you hear the pick, and it's not bad. What I mean by is if Carl were sitting here playing the guitar, I would hear the guitar and I would hear the pick on the strings. And it doesn't mean that Carl's a bad guitar player. I mean, I'm just here in the room.
No,
and I
it
hear
feels live.
Yes. And that's what I like about that. Yep. And I'm going to say there's quote unquote interesting harmony, and it's there, but there isn't. This is interesting harmony, just like in the Bonnie Raitt episode where I talked about the fact that you land on the C chord whenever she says the word home, or I'm sorry, nick of time. Yeah. So Love in the Nick of Time. I go through this whole thing and I talk about how you don't ever hear a root position C chord. I couldn't remember what I said. Yeah. So you never hear a root position C chord until she says the word time. And that's what's drawing the tension through it. What to me is interesting in this is that this song it's in the key of D, and there are two things that they do that I think are really fascinating. Is that the chords in the verse are D, E minor, G, D. But the way they land the chords is interesting. So the first line, once I walked on a lonely road, it's D, E minor, G, D. And then the next line starts back on the E minor. So now the next phrase, you've now basically shut the chord progression down and you've moved forward. So the next line starts on E minor, C, G, right? So you're kind of offset.
Yeah, no, you are offset.
You're definitely offset. So because the once I walked on a lonely road, the D is on the downbeat, and then
I walked a lonely road.
Doesn't sound anything like that song, but and then when you get to the second line, I had no one to share my load.
Go ahead, bro.
It's E, C, G. Nothing interesting there. The reason I bring it up is I'm talking about the song is in the key of D. But when you get to the chorus, for some reason, it almost feels like a modulation, even though it's not. Because they go to the 5 chord. They go to the A chord. But what's interesting is there's a pickup. It's like, you give me light, and it lands on the key of, it lands on an A chord. And then the next line is, you are my day, and it lands on the A chord. And then you give me light, and it lands on the G chord. And then it goes D to A. So it's almost like they're trying to convince you that we're now in A. And you can almost be tricked that you're in A. And they do this really interesting thing where they keep going back and forth playing with where home is. And what I think is really cool about this is that normally when you hear like, you give me light, you are my day, those should be like the landing. Like that should be your tonic. That should be your root.
Yeah, you should go back to the chord that makes the most sense in the song.
But they're on the 5 chord, technically, because they're on the A chord.
Which demands resolution.
It demands resolution, and they keep pushing it, and then they go back and forth, and finally they get you back by doing what they call a plagal cadence. It goes back from G to D. And I find that fascinating because you're not going to necessarily be convinced that you've changed keys, but there's something I think is really interesting. It was enough for me to like, what just happened? I'm like, I know they're just on the 5 chord, and I don't know where my tonal center is. And
to throw Dan off is a real chore.
And so the fact that the song is called My Life Is Right, but when you're saying all this positive stuff, you're on what's technically like the most unstable chord in the song. That's what fascinates me about it. I agree with a lot of your critiques on this, but I find that just a really interesting, and they knew what they were doing, and they're using the harmonic rhythm and the rhythm of where the chords come in to kind of play with your sensibility, because it doesn't sound like you've truly modulated. It's only because it's landing on the downbeat. Like, I've hit home. Nope, I'm on the 5 chord. I've hit home. No, I'm on the 5 chord. Oh, no, I'm on the 4 chord.
They deny you comfort.
They do, and that's
the reason why I'm not fond of it.
Yeah, it's actually uncomfortable given everything else that's going on there, and I find that interesting. So there's Dan's hot take. Yeah.
God, they need to send you an edible arrangement. This band is so lucky Dan is here to defend you. Because I was going to say, that's not a good vocal performance, y'all.
No, it's not great.
On what should be it's a pretty tender tune. There's no question about it. And look, no harm was done here. If it's on in the back of the room, I'm not going to go turn it off.
Yeah.
Nothing's bad here. It's just, compared to some of the other work on this album, I'm probably going to find my low light. This is probably one of them.
But you know what I think they ask you to do?
They asked me to move to the next song, which is called Give Me Another Chance.
Right. So let's give them another chance.
And here, may I open on my notes?
Let's hear it.
Sounds a lot like the second movement of the previous song.
So
hold on.
Go ahead.
This vocal double is distracting and not good. They keep pushing this singer. Does he have a name, by the way?
Yes.
What is it? It's somewhere in our notes.
Yeah, so the replacement's named a song after him. Alex Chilton.
Thank you. Alex, in my opinion, sounds best when he sings in his tenor.
Yeah.
I do not like weak doubled falsetto Alex. He doesn't sound good up there, guys. Stop putting him up there. He's trying to do what other people of the time were doing. He doesn't have the pipes for it. The guy can barely sing in his actual range. And when he sings earnestly in his actual range, it's beautiful. I'm not a good singer, but I do it for a living. I know where my limitations are. That's the difference. I'm owning this, y'all. It's distracting and not good. It would be so much better with him just singing octave down. This would have been a fantastic approach at this song, in my personal opinion. Now, to heal, real quick. I think the piano, the acoustic guitars, and the harmonies are top notch.
The acoustic guitars on this are
fantastic.
Oh my God,
Look,
so good.
This is why I'm pissed. This is why you hear my voice. Like,
yeah.
Guys, like, stop sending this guy to the stratosphere. Like, who are you trying to impress? Some Corey Feldman shit. Like, what are you doing here? Like,
so you're getting into the 80s.
Well, this is the precursor for the 80s,
yes.
Obviously. All of this is. This is like future Every Rose Has Its Thorn type territory we've been in for 2 songs straight.
Okay, yep.
I'm not wrong.
You're not.
And I'm mad. I'm like a little like lit about it.
You shouldn't be, because there are some good songs from the 80s.
There's a ton of... Well, the thing is, in the 80s, there's guys who do sing this style perfectly.
Yep. So want me to give you one person who did this?
Sure, give me 5.
Okay, so here's where I came in on this. I said I get Rocket Man meets Bread.
2 fantastic singers, Elton John and whoever the singer from freaking Bread is. Yeah,
Bread won't make this list, and Bread is freaking
fantastic.
awesome.
I mean, if you're on like the off yacht rock lists, Bread is about as good as it gets.
With hints of the song "To Be With You" by Mr. Big.
Oh, dude, let's talk about Mr. Big. Oh my God.
So this is what is the prototype for that song. Do you know the song "To Be With You" by Mr. Big? Right. This is that prototype.
Sorry, mouthful of beer. But yes, I totally know the song.
Yes.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And once
that's
again,
why I was smiling while you were raging. That's why I was smiling. Yes.
This is why this album is here. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
This thing just planted so many seeds.
Yeah.
Especially the back half of this album. I mean, I didn't mention it anywhere in my notes, but the entire night I've been thinking about, like, Extreme pulled from this.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say there's even a prototype for "You Are So Beautiful" by Joe Cocker in this song.
Sure. You know what? I'll go there.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad song at all.
Not.
It's just a vocal performance I don't prefer.
Yeah.
That's all. It's a very good song. Here, other notes on it. I want to like this, but it's a weak falsetto singer, and they keep showcasing him here. However, 2:25, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. There's all of a sudden this swell that they do, and they put in a few more vocal levels. They bring in an organ to support it, and suddenly the song gets really, really good.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is so weird for a song to turn from shit vocal production to good vocal production at the 63rd percent tile marker.
The vocal harmonies on this are...
The harmonies, by the way, on this entire album have been sterling.
Yeah.
I will never forget. I will come back and use this as a reference for harmony ideas when I have none.
All right.
This has been this listen in its entirety has been such a ear-opening thing for me.
Yeah.
This is truly like one of those Pathfinder albums.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on its own it really holds the weight, but what it probably has influenced, it's worth its weight in tons, right? Like, it's just, it punches so hard. And the performances, generally speaking, are so good.
Yeah. So to be clear, you weren't a huge fan of "Give Me Another Chance" from a vocal performance perspective.
But this is why I'm pissed. This is a song I really like. I just didn't like the vocal performance. And then in the end, they gave me what could have been the vocal performance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sucks.
So you know what we should do?
What?
We should try again.
Oh, dude, what? Did you work these out beforehand?
No, I was this
song number 10, Try Again. You're right though. Nice segues, Dan. And I have to re-say them though because we had this talk tonight.
Yes,
the
we
AI's
did.
not catching us. All right, so song number 10. Try again.
The only thing I'm going to say here is from side 2. You talked about side 1 being like jumping between styles of music.
Yeah, side 1 went rock, ballad, India.
Yeah. And then now here we have basically starting from like the back half of this album are all acoustic,
Chillers, yeah.
right? And which kind of bothers me from an album layout perspective.
I mean, if I had an album that only had 4 or 5 like rockers, I'd probably front load them.
Yeah, it makes sense, but to me, it kind of makes the back half feel like a sleeper. And I think I like the back half. I like this whole
I
album.
objectively like the back half more.
Yeah.
I'm not pissed about this. I feel like we've seen this before too. I couldn't put my finger on which album it was, but we've seen this now. Now that we're studying album layouts,
Yep.
like much more than the average duck, this is not uncommon. You front load the things you think could hit radio.
Yep.
That's why it's called the A side, right? Mm-hmm. And then the back half, you get to get a little experimental. In this case, back half of this album's very good.
Yeah.
So
Try again.
try again. Song number 10 of 12, y'all.
Can
I
see?
was not stoked after the last tune to get yet another acoustic guitar intro. I was like, oh shit, we've went to sleep. Right?
Yep.
Like my mood was like not cool. And then I didn't really know what to expect. I heard him vocalize. He's not my favorite singer, but he's now in a timbre I enjoy again. There's 2 really nice acoustics that are panned like 70-70, right and left,
so
and they're
good.
playing pristine. He finishes his verse, and then they start doing this slide guitar thing. And now I'm like really interested because nothing on this album sounds this way.
Right.
It's like when we heard India. Nothing on this album sounds this way. But now we're on like this raw cut side. I'm a little annoyed by the last song, as one could tell. And now I'm engulfed in almost like a meditative state. This song is tame. It's thought out. It's beautiful. His singing style in his tenor range, I may add, works perfectly here.
Yeah. And one thing you've been crapping on here are the doubles.
No. This double.
Clean vocal doubles.
This is the cleanest. Well, his falsetto double's been dog shit all day.
Yeah.
These vocal doubles, when he can sing in his range,
Yes.
fantastic.
My literal note is finally clean vocal doubles.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep. I haven't been hating on them in this episode as much as you have, but that's my note.
It annoys me. These are great. You end up with a chord chart that's fantastic. Yeah, there's the laughing, holding my head face from Dan. Say more, Dan.
So yes, very basic chord chart
Not really.
with one surprise. Right? It's a very basic chord chart. And what I love about it is it's such a basic chord chart, But then lyrically, he goes, so the name of the song is called Try Again. Like it's a song about remorse and can I get another chance, basically.
Yep. And the message is nice.
It's a beautiful message.
Easy to listen to.
Yeah. And then every time things get harder, he goes, but each time it gets a little harder, they go to the flat 6 out of the blue. And it's like,
Nowhere.
yeah.
Nowhere.
So there's like one surprise chord. It's what makes it
Derails the
interesting.
song,
Yes.
and then they go right back in.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And what's so great about that flat 6 on the word harder, right, is where it comes in is on the word harder, is then eventually in the very next line, they go to the regular 6, the 6 minor, and the 6 minor almost sounds kind of uncomfortable, but it's just the 6 minor. It's a totally normal chord.
No, it's diatonically correct.
Yes,
but
but
now it's like perverse because they've already shown you another color.
Yeah.
So it feels like 2 different charts or 2 different, not modulations per se, but
It's one weird chord amongst a very diatonic chord progression.
that's exactly right. Way to ruffle the feathers tastefully.
Yeah.
Not a ton of percussion, not a ton of production. Everything's clean. This, up until now on the album, is my favorite song. It's a top 3.
Yeah.
It's a top 3. listen to my words.
It's a really good song.
It dialed me back in. After I was in. This album had me. I was like, cool. Like, I'd never heard of this album a day of my life. I wasn't stoked on listening to it, frankly, after the first song, because I was like, oh God, this is just like classic rock bullshit. I get into my third listen, I'm like buying in, and I'm getting into the nitty gritty. I get over to 9. Actually, I get to 8. My life is right, and that's my upsetting moment. 9, the hangover of still pushing him up in that horrid falsetto. You get here, and suddenly I find solace. Every time. This song is nurturing. It's satiating. I really love the simplicity of the song. It shows that there's like depth in this band. And it came at the right time. 10 is a hell of a position on a 12-song album to give us the moment, right? Boyz II Men 2 did this.
They did.
Water Runs Dry. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, but here's what happens. This is where it goes. No, you see the thing. So we don't discuss these before, but I can tell we're tracking the same way right now, right? So you move from Try Again 10. I thought we were gonna work on a mic etiquette tonight, Daniel. You can laugh. No, don't laugh. Into song 11.
So you think about it. We go from Give Me Another Chance. Well, I guess I messed up. Try Again.
Yes.
Now let's watch the sunrise.
That's right.
And what is the opening guitar part vibe come in with?
Well, it's
like what song is this at the very beginning?
I'm looking at my notes and I don't have anything written there.
You don't get Love the One You With by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young?
Well, so I wrote, there's 3 acoustic guitars. That's what I have.
Including a 12-string. Yes.
Yeah, well, in that case, there's 9 acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
4. Yeah. But nonetheless, you have but 3 acoustics, and they just like smash you in the face.
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, that's 100% that. Love the one you're with.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, perfect.
Yep.
So I say great dynamics. 12-string on the intro is glorious. Yeah, I write this too. Still don't think he's a great singer, but I like this style. I've had a real battle with him all album.
Yeah.
Like, if you put a more competent singer on this album, this thing would be star-studded in my mind.
Yeah.
But the production, once again, is insane. You're now working with multiple acoustics, including a 12 strings, which 12-string guitars sound like a absolute mess traditionally, unless they're recorded well. And people tend to like really play them really hard.
It's so hard to keep it. Well, so
it's the mandolin of guitars.
Yeah. Well, thing number 1, there's no guitar that's ever in tune.
Yeah, true.
And now you double the strings.
Especially in my studio.
Then you double the strings, right? Because there's the reason I'm saying that is, well, it's because it's true, is because there's so much like sympathetic tension that causes, there's so many reasons for a guitar to not be in tune. Even if the guitar is well intonated, the performance can cause things to go out
you
of tune.
bend your finger a little bit.
Yeah, you press too hard. Like, it's really hard to like truly have a guitar.
It's humid outside. Like, like there's a million things.
But this is clean as hell.
Dude, it's fantastic production. And it's this beautiful light at the end of this album, or towards the end of this album.
Yeah.
I think this is just a fantastic song.
Yeah.
You end up with a harmony in this song. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
No. You're up. I've been talking.
No, literally.
It's so strong. They do this harmony wall.
And it's like call and response. They because they did this in the previous song too, where they're doubling the vocal line, but it's delayed, almost like it's done in a round.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
My note said, "Is this a rondo?"
Yeah.
And which is literally a round.
Yeah.
And brilliant use of harmonica.
Yeah.
They bring this harmonica for the first time on the album out of nowhere. The timbre meets the song.
Right.
And then after this is now my favorite song.
Right. And the harmonica makes sense because of the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young sort of flavor of the beginning.
Precisely. You have this like distilled thought that then grows.
Yeah.
And what Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or it's Crosby, Stills, Nash, depending on which combo you want, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
They were so good at just putting a message down and just letting it grow. All they did is cultivate at your feet as the listener and let you make the next step. This has so much of that spirit, right?
Yeah.
We're genuinely, I'm looking at Dan and he's looking at me, we're just smiling.
Yeah.
This song, just reflecting on it, makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I have my tenor vocalist version of him back. Mm-hmm. I like that version of Alex. It's where he's most stylistic. It's where I feel like he's earnest. It's more like a friend than a guy screeching at me.
Yeah.
And that's what I prefer in my music.
Yeah. And unlike when we talked about Sparks,
Yeah.
right? Alex, yeah, I agree with you, is not as powerful in that falsetto. It doesn't bother me the way it bothers you. And
Not as. To compare him to the falsetto singing Sparks is a massive canyon difference in talent, skill, and frankly, vocalese.
Correct. And then, so when you get to the 1980s and you have bands like Mr. Big and like Slaughter and like these other bands that they're like, how are they even doing this? And I always wonder, like those, especially those bands in the 80s who were doing that high falsetto. It's like, or even Axl Rose for that matter.
Don't give Axl the credit.
Right.
Honestly,
like how on earth, like, did you not think that you would be singing this 40 years later and you cannot possibly hit those notes anymore once your balls dead?
Dude, you do it when it's there. You do it when it's there, right?
Yeah.
This dude, honestly,
but he wasn't really skillful enough. I think with vocal training, he would do a fantastic job with this.
He doesn't have power.
Right. But again, I think it's like breath support and just like lack of.
No, man. Like even his low stuff. You won't ever convince me he's a good singer. I like his melodies. I like his attitude. I like his band. He ain't a good singer. Like he's not a notable singer. I'm not a good singer. He's on the top 500 albums of all time list. Get it? Like,
not for that reason.
I'm allowed to be stringent here, is what I'm saying. When you look at the vocalists who should be on this list.
All right. But we also creamed our jeans over Henry Rollins, who objectively is not a good singer.
He didn't sing. He yelled, and that's what he does.
Right.
Henry Rollins was the original TED Talk. That's a very different persona.
Okay, so wait.
This guy is trying to act like he's doing the singing thing.
Okay, so we
spent like last episode shitting on Dylan for half the time. How many albums will he have on here, right?
Yeah, too many. And so, but we talked about the Wolf. What is it? Our T-shirts now.
Oh, what's the
Wolf's his own boss.
The Wolf's his own boss.
And then what did you just say? It was perfect.
Oh, we had a good T-shirt idea?
Yeah, we have another T-shirt.
I remember
idea.
this.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
All right, so we have another T-shirt idea. So we're going to have to come up with our T-shirts.
Yeah, we will listen to it. I'm pretty sure it's all documented.
Yeah.
If you guys have T-shirt ideas, by the way, you should hit us at
backwardsbeatpodcast@gmail.com
or
at backwardsbeatpodcast on Instagram. But if you really want to join the conversation, you really, really want to get like in the friend zone, join us on Patreon. Totally free. We're not going to charge you. We're not stealing your information. We want to be a part of the conversation.
It's our best way of interacting with you. Patreon, their whole platform is about communication in the artist community.
Yeah.
So rather than just dropping into a DM, this is where you interact with artists on your best front.
Let's be friends.
Oh, we'd love that. And we won't make fun of your vocals, I promise. Because mine aren't good. But this is where I prefer him. When he's in his tenor range, rocking his stuff. Literally half the album, they're pushing him into the thing that would become, here we go again. You know, like the shit that Eddie Money can't sing anymore, right? Like,
right.
You just watch these guys die one after another. This falsetto hairband classic rock thing can only last so long.
Yeah.
This is the precursor. There's no question about it, Daniel. But man, the end of this album is 4 acoustic songs in a row.
Yeah.
And it brings us to ST, or I guess State. What is the ST?
So I tried to do some research as to what the name. So it's ST 100 over 6.
Over 6, yeah. Or
Which-
/6 for those.
Correct.
Thank you.
So all right.
Program.
So the difference between / and /.
Yeah.
For those of us who read from right to left, if you want to know what forward is, I read from right to left. So it leans from right to left. That's forward slash.
It was just really weird because you're looking at me while mirroring it, so it looks like left.
Yes.
But
/ /.
I'm reading it on the screen.
So one thing I saw, it was in reference to a model of a guitar and amplifier, but I found out that this album took a while to make. And so basically it was a song catalog number as they were cataloging the song, and they didn't have a title, so they just called it.
So it just got called its catalog number?
Yep.
That's kind of sick, actually.
Yep. It's kind of like classical music where it's like sonata in C.
Well, we had that complaint during the Kinks, too, as well. That's such a fun run. If you haven't listened to that episode, by the way, fantastic episode.
It is.
My notes on this 58-second song. This is the chillest Beatles ass shit ever. Fantastic harmonies. Once again, perfect guitars.
Mine is the breadiest intro, followed by the Beatles, the end, harmonies.
Done.
Done.
It's so funny. It's like they actually put a cherry on top.
They did.
It's 58 seconds.
A perfect 58 seconds.
There's not like much to talk about here. I can't talk about progression or anything. It's just a pretty moment at the end of the album, which is so nice because they gave us several pretty moments at the end of the album.
Yeah.
Daniel, coming into hearing about a band I never heard of called Big Star, an album called Number One Record.
Actually, it's a freaking great album title.
I had incredibly low expectations.
I will say this is probably the smiliest episode we've ever recorded.
I really like this album.
Me too.
I'll buy this.
Yes, me too.
I so fucking hate half the vocals on this album.
Yeah.
But I can see past that
You should have to, yeah.
because the musicality of the album is sterling.
It
If
is.
you handed this off to a better vocalist, you give this to Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
Destroyed. Give
Yeah.
this to, like, just would crush this.
Yeah.
Like anybody who's like a Steve Perry clone
Mm-hmm.
would destroy this, right?
Yeah, or even like, I didn't mention this, I'm going to mention it now, is we talked about like the Southern rock thing. We talked about some Leonard Skinner. I also get, in some of the Southern rock stuff, I get some Molly Hatchet stuff.
Oh, sure.
Like, so you could,
oh, dude, let Stapleton take this album.
yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I want to hear the full production. The amount of guitar playing on this album that
We did not talk about.
we didn't talk about. That's precisely right. There's a masterclass sitting here.
Yeah.
It's insanity, dude. If you like songs like More Than a Feeling, you need to listen to this album and go to hear the way people play guitar on here.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. Everything's blended perfectly. Kudos to the studio, the mixing engineers across everything. It's such a pleasant listen.
Yes. So if you're going to ask me if I would hit it, I would hit it. I would buy it. I'm thankful for this podcast, for being able to hear this and experience this music.
Me too. Perfectly put. There's several albums I would hit, though I don't know that I'd revisit. This one, I'll talk about this with my musician friends.
Yeah. When we talked about this before the episode, when we talk about the concept of 500 greatest albums of all time, perhaps this list should be 500 most influential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one influenced.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is the greatest album of
It's
all
not.
time. But man, I see what it did and the parallels to literally everything that is rock and roll
Yeah.
are here. at 1972, that's impressive.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, y'all won this one. Anyway, really, really pleased to have done this one and late nighted this one with my good friend Daniel. What do we got coming up next?
We have the artist Daddy Yankee with Barrio Fino.
You got accidental Spanish. This is fun.
We.
Ja. All right. Well, we're gonna catch Daddy Yankee's album next week. Thank you for joining us on our podcast.
Muchas gracias.
And we'll see you later. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Woodard.
Next week. Olay. Daddy Yankee.
Ooh, that was a show about the album #1 record by Big Star. Guitar, 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 get a new singer, then we buy this. Yeah!
Backwards Beats Podcast is a 2-to-1 production recorded live at Thought Shack Studios in Halethorpe, Maryland.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us at Backwards Beats Podcast on most platforms.
Share the love, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive into the next album on Rolling Stone Magazine's Top 500 list. Until then, salt your melons.